Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Thanks for tuning in. This week we're gonna do something a little bit more spooky. Today we're gonna be talking about unsolved mysteries that point to the paranormal, supernatural, unknown, ghostly? Guess we'll find out. Let's get into it. Also, forgive me because I'm trying my best to pronounce some of these things and it's a little difficult, so doing my best. Thank you. Case number 1, the Dlav Incident, the Dlav Pass Incident. Our journey begins in 1959, amidst the snowy and unforgivable rural mountains of Soviet Russia, where 9 hikers set off on an expedition and never returned. These 9 experienced hikers, led by Igor Dyatlov, embarked on what they thought would be a routine challenge in the wilderness. But as they reached the desolate stretch known as Dyatlov Pass, something horrifying happened. Their final night in a frozen landscape would leave behind a legacy of unanswered questions and terror. When researchers found the camp, they were greeted with a sight that defied logic. The hikers' tent had been slashed open from the inside. It seems as if they had desperately fled into the night, braving the snow with no more than thin clothing. But why? Then, autopsies revealed something strange and disturbing. While some bodies showed signs of frostbite, others showed things that didn't make any sense. Some of the injuries found were so brutal that they resembled a car crash, crushing internal trauma, yet no external wounds. And if that wasn't unsettling enough, several of the hikers' eyes were missing, and even one girl, her tongue. And then, one of the strangest things found yet was that the hikers, their clothes, had radiation. This finding only deepens the suspicions. At the height of Cold War secrecy, the Soviet Union was experimenting with powerful and untested technology. Was this the case of a military experiment gone horribly wrong? Did the government know more than they were letting on? Surprise, surprise! The Mansi people, indigenous to the region, call the area Mountain of the Dead. According to their legend, this mountain is cursed, and venturing too close to it could result in... But this isn't the only supernatural element to this case. That same winter, UFO sightings were found near the same area. Could the strange forces in Dyatlov Pass be extraterrestrial? Well, in the 1990s, a new theory emerged among the hikers' photos. One photo showed a tall, dark, shadowy figure in the background. Something lurking. Could it be a Yeti, an undiscovered creature? Could it have attacked them? Could it have forced them to flee in terror that night? Well, over 60 years later, the Dyatlov Pass incident remains unsolved, inspiring theories of government cover-ups, curses, alien encounters, and cryptid attacks. With each answer, more questions emerge. Let me know what you think down below. Alright, on to case number 2. Our story begins in 1880 in Tennessee, where a man named David Lang reportedly vanished out of thin air. On a quiet day in 1880, David Lang was going on a walk in a field with his family when suddenly he vanished. One moment he was there, the other gone, leaving his family scared and helpless. I mean, really, could you imagine going on a walk with your family and then boop, oh, dad's gone. Oh, dad vanished into thin air? Okay, now is time to start screaming. His family and neighbors scoured the field, desperate for any sight of him, but despite countless searches, not a single trace of him was ever found. No footsteps, no clues, nothing. Just an empty, silent field. But what could have caused such an unexplainable disappearance? Some believe David Lang could have stumbled into another dimension. Theories about time slips and interdimensional realities suggest that some places could have thin veils, being the only thing that separates these realities. Could Lang have unknowingly walked through one of these dimensions? These portals? These thin veils from reality? Maybe. Well, months later, Lang's children swore they heard him crying out for help in the field. Was it his desperate echo from another world, or something else entirely? Disappearances like David Lang's appear a lot in folklore, especially in Celtic myths. Have you ever heard of fairies? Perhaps fairy rings? Sometimes these are described as portals from this realm to another. This could explain how random travelers just vanish into thin air. Could Lang have found one of these mysterious doorways? Well, not everyone is convinced. Whether it is fact or fiction, it definitely makes you question. Could our world have hidden doorways that lead elsewhere? Was David Lang a victim of interdimensional travel against his will? Or merely a legend born from a rural superstition? We may never know. And on to case number 3. We're bringing it to holly jolly Christmas time. Nothing's more lovely than a magical Christmas. Besides, on Christmas Eve in 1945, in West Virginia, the Sauter family's home engulfed in flames. George and Jenny Sauter managed to escape with 4 out of 9 children, but 5 of their children supposedly died in the fire. Yet, no remains were found. For decades, haunting clues kept popping up here and there, suggesting that this was no ordinary tragedy. Despite a thorough search, authorities never found any remains. The fire chief declared the children as dead, but the lack of physical evidence led the locals to think otherwise. Perhaps something darker occurred. Was this a cover-up? Suspicious behavior by the fire chief and local authorities had only fueled those fears. In the 1960s, over a decade later, Jenny Sauter received a mysterious letter in the mail, postmarked from Kentucky. Inside of it was a photograph they believed could be a picture of their missing son. The letter hinted that he was still alive, but were these letters real? Experts have debated their authenticity for years. With the Sauter family's Italian ancestry, some believe that this was an act of vengeance, targeting George Sauter for his outspoken view and background. Rumors of a local criminal ring started to spread, and there are theories that the children were abducted as a form of retribution. This raised painful questions. Had someone taken their children in a twisted form of revenge, as a twisted form of punishment? As the years passed, strange sightings and clues kept appearing, but it unfortunately just deepened the mystery. The Sauter family kept the search alive, hoping that their children might still be out there, but to this day, it is still unsolved. Alright, case number 4. The Green Children of Woolpit. In 12th century England, a peculiar mystery emerged from the quiet village of Woolpit. 2 children, a boy and a girl, with green-tinted skin, were found wandering near the edge of a forest. Their language was unlike anything anyone had ever heard, and when asked where they came from, they spoke of a strange land in eternal twilight, where the sun never shone. At first, the locals thought, the kids might be malnourished. Their greenish skin due to a bad diet, although one theory links them to the green men in folklore. Spirits or nature symbols were very common in medieval times. Historians believe that the children could be from a nearby village, malnourished once again, but how would that explain their unknown language and the strange world they claim to be from? Some modern theorists believe that the children may be extraterrestrial visitors. Their green skin, language, and descriptions of an unknown world? Could they have slipped through a portal from another planet onto this dimension into the grasps of our people? Well, whatever the truth, the Green Children of Woolpit have remained a mystery in England for years, being one of the most haunting legends, leaving us to wonder, were they simply lost? Or lost in ways that we would never understand? Alright, on to our last case, case number 5. The Mystery of the Belmes Faces. In 1971, a small home in Belmes, I cannot pronounce this next part, please forgive me. I will just say Belmes, Spain, became site of one of the most strange, terrifying, unexplainable phenomena ever recorded. Maria Gomez Camara noticed a strange stain forming on her floor, shaped like a face. Soon, she began to notice more and more appearing, etched into the concrete, each with haunting, expressive faces. Maria and her family tried to remove these faces, scrubbing the concrete, scratching at it, tearing up the floor, getting rid of it. The floor, gone! But more faces appeared, and now, most of these faces appearing, the emotions behind them were agony, sorrow, pain. They looked tormented, as if they were watching and reacting to the other faces in the room. Local historians revealed that the home was built on a graveyard, with burial records dating back centuries. This only intensified the eerie theories. Were these faces restless spirits appearing to communicate with them? Some even speculated that these faces were appearing from telekinesis, linking Maria's strong emotions to a psychic phenomena. For decades, paranormal experts have examined the faces, with many declaring that the phenomena might be one of the most compelling examples of supernatural activity. To this day, it's still unsolved. Nobody knows what it came from, what it is, nothing. Well, if you guys liked this video, please let me know. Leave a comment down below, a like, subscribe if you haven't. Let me know what you want to see next. If you want more videos like this, I'd be happy. Anyway, thanks guys.